Hello, LinkedIn friends. Welcome once again to another episode of Lean Coaching for Lean Coaches. Hope you are all doing well on this fantastic Tuesday. We having some technical difficulties there for just a moment, so thanks for adjusting and adapting. That's what we do in our continuous improvement and lean work. We have to be willing and ready to just adjust and adapt when our services tell us we need to update something. So there we go. Um, my lesson for the day: always be prepared for everything and anything. But glad again that you are here with us for today. And I'm super excited to bring on someone that I'm just getting to know and am really enjoying what I'm starting as I'm starting to get to know him more. Mr. Jeremie Harrison. Thank you so much for coming on today. Really appreciate it.
Glad to be here. Appreciate it, Sam.
Hey, well, y'all, as always, please jump in the comments and let us know where you're coming in from, what's brought you here today. Always like to know why you're here. And of course, if you've got a comment or question as we go along today, please do place that in there as well. We love the engagement, and especially as you get to know Jeremie. If you're not already connected, why not? And after this, I'm sure you will go ahead and do that, engage, have a great conversation with him. You're going to fall in love with him as I already have in the short time that I've gotten to know him. So, Jeremie, of course, everybody's going to want to know just a little bit about us. So give us the Cliff Notes version of a little bit about you, and then we'll hop into the coaching.
So the Cliff Note version is I am a federal construction manager. I've been in the federal market since about 2008. I kind of fell into it during the collapse of construction in 2008, where very few of us had any work, and we're doing what we had to do to make ends meet. But I enjoy it in the federal space. What I'm working on launching something hopefully very soon to help people that want to transition into the federal space, whether it be subcontractors, trade partners, or just individuals that would like to manage in the federal space.
Well, all right. And so this is the new thing that you are jumping off into, and that's who we like to have on here, people that are in that space and making that transition and having questions and thinking about it and really excited about it, but still kind of wondering about different things. And so this is a great space for that. Folks who are kind of all in that spectrum of like thinking about doing it or already having done it and are having some challenges. So this is, I think, folks are going to find really resonate with the questions that you have and the thoughts that you have as well. And Lance, so glad to have you as always. Much love to you, my friend. So thanks for stopping on by. Jeremie, what is on your mind today?
Well, I've been working toward launching this Fed build and wanting to help people transition into the market. Like I said before, in 2008, if you're in the construction industry and you lived through that, you this should resonate with you. I mean, in 2008, I went from 9 months of backlog the same day, one day going into work, uh, you know, 2 hours after arriving to the site, having a meeting that took my backlog from 9 months to 3 days. Uh, and just spent the next month or so trying to hustle up whatever work I could find, whatever I could do. Met someone that was in the federal space and said, "Hey, do you have any work I can bid?" And he said, "Well, it's all already contracted out, but have you ever thought about project management?" I honestly, my first question was, "How much does it pay?" After that discussion, I went to work with that guy 2 weeks later, and I'm still in the same sector. Um, it's pretty well sheltered from most of the rest of the downturns in the economy. Um, it is a little more cumbersome sometimes. Lots of more rules and regulations to follow.
Yeah.
Real thick spec books and things like that. But I mean, long as follow the black and white and do what it says, it all works out just fine.
Mm.
So, but my biggest issues right now in trying to launch this is is just wanting things to be perfect. Lance is on now. I've had several conversations with Lance. I'm not a tech guru guy by any means. I mean, it's really out of my wheelhouse, but I have a hard time, like we talked yesterday about lean, and lean is purpose, process, people. That's all it is. And it can translate into just about anything. I know what the purpose is that I'm trying to convey with what I'm wanting to launch. The process is becoming a little bit more of a task for me, because I just, like I said, I can't help but be somewhat OCD and want things to be just so, and just, throwing it out there and it not being exactly the way I want it is very difficult for me.
Well, I can't sympathize at all with you on that, especially after, what just happened as we got on and the tech didn't work. Like, yeah, that was perfectly okay with me. No, I get you 100%. Like, with wanting to have things just so, and having everything figured out and having all the answers. And I think everybody here, Heath, glad to have you, and Joe as well. Yeah. Plumbing business in 2008. I can only imagine what that was like. So thank you for being here. But I think all of us who are here and are checking this out later can resonate with that idea of wanting to have it perfect. So you obviously have a great idea in your head, and you've got a passion, like you said, you've got that purpose. I'm wondering, so you're thinking about this thing and you're excited to do it. If we're maybe going down maybe just a little bit further, I know you have like a maybe 30, 45 day type of timeline for what you're wanting to, but if you're like a year down the road, what would be awesome in a year for this idea? Like if you were like, man, this would be great if it looked like this, what would that look like?
Yeah, I mean, ideally, there's lots of people out there that work with GCs to acquire federal contracts. That's not really the market that I'm looking to hit. That's not the people that I want to work with. I think our trade partners, our subcontractors are. There's not a lot of resources out there for them. I'd like to help trade partners get into the federal sector, show them how to get into the federal sector. I would like to help individuals, even myself. I've reached out to somebody here on LinkedIn just last week, trying to see what all it takes to become a certified healthcare instructor or constructor. We think about businesses being, transitioning and being ready to transition, not putting all your eggs in one basket, but us as construction professionals, the more we can diversify and make ourselves usable in different markets, the greater the likelihood is that we'll always have work. We can transition from one sector to the other if we prepare. And that's what I'd like to do. I'd like to help people be ready to transition.
So maybe you can articulate that, or just paint us a picture of, like, in a year, what would you be seeing that would tell you, oh my gosh, man, this is kicking ass. I'm helping people. I'm living out my passion and my purpose. So tell me more about what you'd be seeing going on in that scenario.
Your average in a year, I would love to see trade partner companies, where me being able to work with them, get them established with GCs that are already in the federal space, get them working with somebody like Lance to pre-qualify, and I'd like to see those people flourishing. I'd like to, and as far as individuals, I mean, demographics are different for different people, but from where I'm from, the average, say, superintendent in the federal sector usually starts about 30% higher in pay than someone outside of that sector. I'd love to help people transition and move into that sector to recognize their potential. Honestly, I like what I do. I like managing federal construction. I'm not launching this to make a career. I'm not trying to, you know, make a living sitting in a beanbag chair eating Cheetos. I like putting my boots on and my yellow vest and hard hat. I like what I do. Uh, but I'd also like to help, you know, continue the legacy. You know, I mean, we talk about this. People talk about, well, this generation, they're just not the same. Well, I mean, we raised them. If there's a problem with them, it's our fault, right? I mean, I want to help tomorrow's construction, specifically the market that I'm in. I would like to see more people able and ready to do federal construction, and it's extremely rewarding.
Well, yeah, I'm not gonna have to. I'm not gonna be able to let go of that picture of you sitting on a beanbag with Cheetos and having the Cheeto fingers. It's just gonna be there now forever. I'm sorry, it's stuck. Maybe you should just update your profile to that profile picture. I think that'd be fantastic. And Joe and Michelle, thanks for coming in. I appreciate it, and glad to have you all here. And I don't think anybody here is sitting on a beanbag chair and eating Cheetos as well. But what struck me about what you just shared there too is a few words, right? The flourishing, right? Recognizing potential and helping people, this current generation, like tomorrow's construction workers, right? And people that are in that industry. And I'm not familiar with the industry myself. Many of the folks who are watching, maybe not. And you obviously have that. That's like a thing that's been your passion in life for years. Tell me, maybe I just want to get a little bit more picture of what sorts of things, when you say they're flourishing, the potentials recognized, you're seeing those tomorrow's what sorts of things are going on for them? What would you be seeing going on if you were to like take the roof off of this ideal place?
So a subcontractor that and I think today's term is trade partner. I guess that's the more politically correct term for subs, but you guys know what I'm talking about. A trade partner is, probably in any given space has any number of bases within an hour circumference of their work area, where they want to work. I would love to help them get the qualifications, increase their bond capacity. Let's connect you with some subs, with some general contractors, pre-qualify you so you can bid on the work. Show you how to find work that's coming out in sam.gov and see these guys, go from, 10 million a year to 20 million a year or whatever. I mean, there's the federal government owns like 900,000 facilities. I mean, there's a huge market there. I mean, if just take a roofing contractor, your average roof needs replaced once every 20 years. That's 45,000 roofs a year that get replaced by the federal government.
Damn.
There's work there. And I mean, again, like I said, my ideal thing is just to be able to see people, I guess the best word that I can come up with is capitalize, see people expand their business, move into that market some, not have all their eggs in one basket. I mean, that's the rewarding part for me.
So with that in mind, right, expanding, using some of those other words, potential, flourishing, where are you at now? Like, if you're thinking about, okay, that's the ideal, where you want to be. If you're thinking about where you're at now in relation to being able to make that happen, where are you at?
I have a website built that's that my son, who is much more computer savvy than I am, took one good look at and said, "Dad, don't launch this. Let me fix it." So he's right now kind of working through my website to make it a little better. I'm right at this point. I'm kicking around several different methods. I'm between two methods to be able to work with individuals. Obviously, I want to do it as affordable and as efficient as possible. Your average, I want your because I am doing it to help people. I want your average person to be able to afford it and not look at it and go, I just don't have that kind of money to invest. So like just honing in on exactly what method I want to use and what method is going to be the best to get it out there is kind of where I'm at now.
And what is that like? What sorts of things are you doing? Like, if we're just, we're friends here. What sorts of things are you doing? Whatever you're willing to share about. So if we're like talking about like, in terms of use current condition or current state or whatever. So what sorts of things are going on right now for you in that?
So for right at this point, I've reached out to several people and scheduled some one-on-one calls just to throw my ideas out and try to get some feedback. Like for like a trade partner, a company, it's pretty cut and dry. Hey, I can coach you. Let's figure out how much time you're willing to invest, how much money you're willing to invest.
Yep.
Then let's do it. But you're the individual to somewhat career coach them, and it is a little different animal because,
right.
How do I put that out with and it still be affordable? Your average person don't have unlimited hours to spend with you. Number one. Number two, they don't want to, or they don't have a ton of money to throw at their own education or on development. So right now I'm kind of between, should I try to do this as a video course that you could purchase and download, or what I'm leaning toward is I would like to I'm thinking I would like to do like a once a month, once a quarter, pending the need, or the people that are interested. I would like to do like a 12-seat Teams meeting or something where I can deal with like 12 people at one time, 10 to 12 people, look through their resume and say, okay, in the federal market, it's all about checking the contractual boxes. So,
right.
So, we need to move this here. We need to highlight this part of your experience. That kind of thing. That's like I said, just trying to figure out what platform and what's the best way for people to really, really understand and get what I'm trying to show them, and it not break the bank for them.
Yeah. This is good. I mean, knowing that you've scheduled some calls, and you've had some calls, it sounds like, and like even kind of going back a little, sounds like you've got some ideas of how to, of what you're picturing happen, which is great. So I'm wondering, what else is going on? I guess I want to do that. Just anything else that you're in terms of getting it to where you want it to be, anything else that you're seeing and doing right now in relation to that, just real quickly, anything else?
Honestly, not really. I mean, the biggest, once I land on which one of those methods that I want to achieve, then that I want to use, then the biggest thing is the tech side of it, and I do have some help with that now, thank goodness. If I do like videos or courses, then that brings a whole nother level of tech issues.
Yeah.
Like I told you yesterday, I mean, I'm not tech illiterate, but I'm also of the age that I'm not super comfortable with it either. You could put me in front of 200 to 500 people and I can talk to them just fine. You stick this camera in my face and All I can do is stutter and
Well, I think most people here would challenge you on that. Clearly, you've got a heart, and you care, and you have a clear picture, and you've been able to share that. So, and thank you, Heath, too, for talking more about that and saying, I think most people would go into the federal project thinking, what's the big deal? It's construction, until they hand you the specs. That's I hear that. So what are your biggest obstacles to being able to make this a reality?
Right now, it's all tech. It's getting the website just right, and nailing down what I want to do, and I've got all these big ideas, and I think I'm at a place now that I really just need to throw it out there and understand that it's not going to be perfect. And no matter how much I plan and strategize, as soon as I throw it out there, that I'm going to want to change parts of it as I go anyway. So just I don't know, put my OCD in my pocket and go with it. What I think I need to do.
Well, tell me more about the what's keeping you. You talked about, you mentioned OCD, you've talked about wanting things to be perfect. Maybe tell us a little bit more about that. Like what's there for you?
Well, like I said, thinking about putting this out in a class type, like a video class or tutorial kind of thing. And I started to, like I mentioned, sam.gov a little while ago, and that's where you can go and see all the solicitations that are coming out or sources sought. And I started doing like a tutorial of how to mine the opportunities in sam.gov. I've actually made like 3 different videos of how to mine sam.gov, and again, I hate them. I'm gonna have to bring in some help to get that the way I want it. I mean, I don't want to put something out that looks like cheesy YouTube garbage. I mean, I want it. I want it to resonate with people. I want them to get it. That's the biggest thing. I want it to be understandable, and I have to be aware that some things, like I watched one of them back and realized that I used a government acronym like 4 or 5 times in the video that nobody else watching the video would even understand what I was talking about. That kind of thing, and things that are normal to me because I've been in that sector since 2008. Right. And to do that without having cue cards and trying to make my brain talk on a level that anybody can understand, and I don't mean that disrespectful as it sounded, but I mean, if I'm talking to someone that's in the healthcare sector and they're throwing out acronyms and stuff, I don't understand what they're talking about, just like they won't understand what I'm talking about. But just trying to hone in on how to convey the message and that to make it understandable and make the video look like I didn't make it in a basement.
I hear that. So if you're thinking about where you need to go next, right? Videos aren't out there. What is it that you don't know or is blocking you from moving forward with putting something out there, doing this?
I mean, full transparency, I would say fear. I mean, fear and fear of lots of things. Fear of failure. Fear of it going too well, and me going, oh goodness, I still have a full-time job. I don't have time for all this. Uh,
Right.
you know, I mean, that's the bottom line. And I know, I know you're asking and doing the coach thing and trying to pull it out of me because I've been there as a coach myself. But
Yep.
Sam's going, I'm trying to pull it out of him. And he gives me a 1-word answer: fear.
Like my teenage kids. Um, oh no, hey, and that describes it perfectly. What's the because we can get real, we can make things, we can tell ourselves stories. Of course, we're great jobs at that, holding our own selves back, and then we make big mountains that are like, oh, I could never do this. But the reality is, as we know, it's one step, right? One thing at a time to move us forward. So if you're thinking about right now, you shared a lot of stuff, been open, and I know all of us here appreciate your vulnerability. What's one thing you can do, like let's just say today or between today and tomorrow, that can help you move forward? We know the fear is there. We get, all we can all raise our hands on that. What's the one thing you will do, or for between now and tomorrow, to help you move forward?
I think I just need to take the first step. I need to throw something out, a post that makes me accountable. Like, hey, it's coming. I got a countdown of 30 days or something like that. Just throw it out there. Uh, Something that will hold me accountable. And honestly, the show might do that.
Well, tell me more, because as a coach, um, we want to help people take action, but many times it can be easy, like, well, I might do this, or this thing I'll think about doing. I'm wondering what specifically, like, you're gonna do in the next day, um, that's gonna move you forward.
Well, like I said, I mean, I think all I can really do at this point uh, is put my OCD and my fear in my pocket and throw myself out there and say, this is what I want to do, and it's coming by this date. Just make myself accountable publicly. Uh, and I can do that. I mean, I can do that within the next 24 hours and just put myself out there. And if it's not perfect, it's not perfect. It'll be a work in progress.
I love it. So we're all excited to see your post within the next 24 hours about the what's coming. What do you expect as we're wrapping up here in like 30 seconds? What do you expect to happen or come from this? What do you expect to feel? What do you expect to experience and see from this?
I think this help me talk through it and just know that nobody expects perfection. I mean, I can I do expect to throw it out there and it nudge me in the right direction. So I appreciate your time and appreciate you talking through it with me.
Any expectations about how it'll go?
I hope it goes well. That let's well, but not too well. Just like I said, fear of failure and fear of too many people reaching out.
Well,
So
y'all, let's make this something where he has to face that fear of it doing too well. Let's get on and support him, engage with him as he shares about what's coming next for him. I know everybody here will be looking forward to what you share. We're all out there doing these things. It's everything is an experiment, as one of my favorite YouTubers likes to say. That's none of us has the answer. None of us can know exactly how it's going to go. What was
right.
the most valuable part of this conversation for you today, Jeremie?
Probably just admitting that I was afraid. I mean that's uh, I think for all of us, the hardest thing for us to do is be self-aware of our own emotions and insecurities and things like that. So yeah, I think the greatest takeaway for me is just admitting that this scares the crap out of me.
Well, so does doing this for me. I love it. I love being on here with folks like you who are passionate and who are opening themselves up. It makes me get so excited to show up every Tuesday and Thursday. We'll be back with a conversation we're going to talk about on Thursday. How we talked about being planful, And we're going to talk about seeing marketing as lean folks from an anti-fragile perspective. If you all have read the book, you'll maybe know a little bit about that, but how we need to embrace and being adaptable, especially in our marketing, because we want to like everything like cut and dry. So that's what we're going to be talking about on Thursday. And of course, if you'd like to, hop in the seat and get this kind of support here on a Tuesday, please reach out, shoot me a DM or put it in the comments. And of course, if you're looking for this kind of support on the regular, this is how I show up and help and support folks that are looking to do their own thing. They're thinking about it or have done it and are having challenges. This is what I love to do. And I'm so thankful that folks like Jeremie have agreed and come on and have been vulnerable and shared. And I'm just honored to be here with you, Jeremie. So again, thank you for all of you who showed up and were engaging and are going to show up and engage with Jeremie. Please connect, engage as always. And thank you, Jeremie, again for being here. And thank you to you all for being here. Have a fantastic Tuesday, and we'll see you on Thursday. Take good care, everybody.
See you guys.